This video did not exist in your reality a moment ago. It was a mere potential, a wave of probability in an infinite quantum sea. But your attention, your conscious seeking, reached out and collapsed that wave into this very experience. Stop and feel that for a second. Your awareness is a creative force. Today, we are not just talking about a concept. We are activating a fundamental truth within you, the power of the observer effect. By the end of our time together, you will no longer see yourself as a participant in reality. You will remember that you are its primary architect. Have you ever had a thought, only to see it manifest almost instantly in the world around you? Share that moment of synchronicity in the comments below. Before we begin, we must understand the canvas upon which we paint our reality. Think of a vast, infinite, intelligent field of energy that connects everything. This is the quantum field. It is not empty space. It is a plenum of pure potential. Every possible reality you can imagine, and every reality you cannot, already exists within this field as a wave of probability. Your health, your wealth, your relationships all exist as dormant blueprints. But what decides which blueprint becomes your physical reality? The answer is simple, and it is everything. It is the act of observation. But this is not the passive act of looking. Quantum observation is a dynamic, creative, and decisive force. It is your consciousness, focused like a laser, telling the universe which version of itself to become. You are a gardener standing before an infinite field of fertile soil, and your awareness is the only tool you need to decide what grows. Imagine I conducted an experiment. I set up 5 distinct garden beds to discover the ultimate secret to growth. This story is not about soil and seeds. It is a parable for the 5 ways you interact with the quantum field. The first garden bed represents the most common state of human consciousness, the bed of indifference. This is the reality of the unconscious observer. You move through your days on autopilot, your attention scattered, your intentions undefined. You are observing, yes, but you are observing everything and therefore creating nothing with purpose. Life simply happens to you. The manifestations that appear in this garden are like weeds, random, sparse, and often not what you desire. You feel like a victim of circumstance, unaware that your unfocused consciousness is simply growing a garden of chaos, mirroring the state of your own mind. It's a reality built on accident, not on intention. This is the default setting for most, but you are here because you are ready to move beyond it. Now, let's look at the second plot of land. I call this the garden of forceful will. This is the state of consciousness that believes reality must be conquered. It is the mindset of struggle, of pushing, of fighting against the current. Here, the gardener tries to force the seeds into the ground, screaming at them to grow, trying to bend reality to their will through sheer effort and control. This is the energy of hustle culture, applied to metaphysics. But the quantum field does not respond to force. Force implies resistance, and whatever you resist persists. The plants in this garden are stressed, stunted, and weak. Manifestations born from this energy feel like a constant battle, and they are often fragile and unsustainable. You might achieve a goal, but it will have cost you your peace. The field is not an adversary to be defeated. It is a partner to dance with. This approach misunderstands the fundamental nature of creation, which is one of flow, not friction. The third experiment was the garden of wishful thinking. This plot looks beautiful on the surface. It is filled with the most exquisite seed packets, each with a picture of a perfect outcome. This is the observer who lives in a state of fantasy, of daydreaming without embodiment. They spend all day thinking about the beautiful garden they want, but they never truly plant the seed with the energy of belief. They are in love with the idea of the manifestation, not the reality of it. Their thoughts are like hollow seeds scattered on top of the soil, never taking root. The field registers this as a fleeting desire, not a committed command. As a result, the garden remains barren. It is a graveyard of unfulfilled hopes and one-day dreams. Wishful thinking lacks the essential ingredient that ignites creation in the quantum realm, the potent, unwavering frequency of feeling. It is the difference between looking at a picture of a fire and feeling its warmth. Then we come to the fourth garden bed, a place of deep frustration for many conscious creators, the garden of anxious observation. Here, a seed of intention has been planted correctly. The desire is clear, but the gardener is filled with doubt and impatience. Every single day they go out and dig up the seed to see if it has sprouted. They are constantly checking for results, micromanaging the universe, and questioning the process. This energy of doubt, of "is it working yet?" sends a powerful counter-signal to the quantum field. It is an observation of lack. You are not observing your desire into existence, you are observing its absence. This anxious energy is like a poison to the delicate process of germination. It suffocates the potential before it has a chance to breathe. The field responds to your dominant vibration. If that vibration is one of worry and impatience, you are instructing it to manifest more reasons to be worried and impatient. The greatest manifestations require a period of gestation in the unseen. But then, there was the fifth garden bed, and in this one, the growth was explosive. Life erupted from the soil with a vibrancy that defied logic. The plants were stronger, the fruits sweeter, the colors more vivid than in any other plot. This was the garden of conscious embodiment, and it holds the secret we are here to unlock. This is the way of the master creator. So what was different here? It was a subtle yet profound shift in the nature of observation. The gardener in this plot did not force, did not merely wish, and did not anxiously check. They performed a sacred act. They held the seed, their intention, in their hand, and imbued it with a powerful, clear feeling. They felt the joy of the harvest before planting the seed. They planted it with a sense of certainty and gratitude. And then, they walked away. They trusted the soil. They trusted the process. They turned their attention to tending the rest of their life, holding the quiet, unwavering knowing that the seed was doing its work in the darkness. Let's deconstruct the magic of this fifth garden. The first key is a state I call sacred neutrality. This is not indifference, which is a lack of care. This is a profound state of trust that comes from releasing attachment to the outcome. When you are attached, you are operating from a place of fear. Fear that you won't get what you want. This fear contaminates your energetic signal. Sacred neutrality, however, is a state of pure, focused intention without the desperation. You clearly define what you wish to experience. You choose a reality from the infinite menu of the quantum field. But you do not need it to be happy or whole because you have cultivated a state of wholeness within yourself already. This is the ultimate paradox of manifestation. The less you desperately need something, the faster it flows to you. You are observing from a place of sovereignty, not of lack. You are a creator choosing your art, not a beggar pleading for scraps. If clear intention is the seed, then emotion is the living water that makes it grow. Your thoughts are the architectural blueprint, but your feelings are the construction crew. The quantum field does not respond to your words or even the pictures in your head as much as it responds to the vibratory signature of your being. This is the secret of the fifth garden. The gardener did not just think about the harvest. They felt the harvest in every cell of their body. They felt the sun on their skin as they tasted the ripe fruit. They felt the gratitude, the abundance, the joy as if it were already real. This is what it means to collapse the wave function. You are generating the electromagnetic frequency of the reality you desire here and now. You are becoming a vibrational match to it. You are not waiting for the outside world to give you a feeling. You are generating the feeling to create the outside world. This is the true power of your heart's intelligence. So how does this work? In quantum physics, this is known as collapsing the wave function. Before observation, a particle like an electron exists in a state of superposition. It is in all possible places at once. It is a wave of pure potential. The moment it is observed, it chooses a single, definite position and becomes a particle. Your reality works in the exact same way. Before your conscious, focused, and emotionally charged observation, your desired outcome is just a wave of potential in the field. The moment you observe it with the absolute certainty and feeling of its existence, you are the force that collapses that infinite potential into a singular, particle-based, physical experience. You are literally selecting your reality from an infinite array of possibilities and commanding it to become solid. This is not magic. It is the physics of consciousness. You are doing this every moment of every day, whether you are aware of it or not. The only question is, what are you choosing to collapse into form? However, even with the right technique, the seed needs fertile ground. Your belief system is the composition of the soil in your quantum garden. If your subconscious mind is filled with deeply rooted beliefs of unworthiness, lack, or limitation, it is like trying to grow an orchid in toxic sludge. You can plant the most beautiful seed of intention, but the underlying environment will choke it out. These beliefs are the silent observers, constantly collapsing a reality that matches their programming. This is why people can practice affirmations for years with no results. They are laying a new seed on top of barren, poisoned soil. The real work of a conscious creator is not just in focusing on what you want, but in courageously excavating the limiting beliefs that say, you cannot have it. You must till the soil of your subconscious and remove the rocks of old programming. Your inner world creates your outer world. Always. Once your soil is fertile, you must consider the sunlight. Your daily perception is the sun that nourishes your garden. Where your attention goes, energy flows. It is a universal law. If you spend your day focused on the news, on conflict, on what is wrong with the world, on your problems, you are shining the powerful light of your consciousness on those seeds, commanding them to grow bigger. The master gardener of the fifth bed understands this. After planting their seed of desire, they consciously direct their attention to things that match the frequency of their desired reality. They look for beauty. They practice gratitude. They notice evidence of abundance already present in their lives. They are not ignoring challenges, but they are choosing not to fertilize them with their focus. You must starve the weeds of what you don't want and pour the sunlight of your attention onto the flowers of what you do want. Your perception is a choice, and that choice is your most potent creative tool. It's crucial to understand that the quantum field does not speak your language. It does not understand English or Japanese or Spanish. Its language is universal. It is the language of frequency and vibration. This is why empty affirmations often fail. Repeating, "I am wealthy," while feeling the crushing weight of debt creates a dissonant, chaotic signal. It's like sending a corrupted file to the cosmic computer. The field becomes confused and defaults to your dominant vibration, which is the feeling of lack. True manifestation occurs when there is coherence. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, and your actions must all be aligned, vibrating at the same frequency. They must all be telling the same story. When you think the thought of abundance, feel the emotion of abundance, and take actions inspired by abundance, you become a powerful, coherent transmitter. Your signal to the universe is crystal clear, and it has no choice but to respond in kind. Here we arrive at the most profound and often most difficult step in the process of conscious creation. It is the great paradox. After you have chosen your intention, imbued it with feeling, aligned your beliefs, and planted it in the field, you must let it go. This was the ultimate wisdom of the gardener in the fifth plot. They walked away. This is not an act of forgetting. It is an act of supreme trust. It is a declaration to the universe that you know the work is done. It is the energetic equivalent of clicking order on a cosmic website. You don't stand by the mailbox waiting for the package every 5 seconds. You trust that it is on its way. Releasing your attachment detaches your ego from the process and allows the higher intelligence of the field to orchestrate the outcome in ways you could never imagine. Clinging to it, worrying about it, trying to control the how and the when, that is the energy of the anxious gardener digging up the seed. True creation requires surrender. So how do you know your intention has been received? How do you know the seed has been accepted by the soil? The quantum field will begin to send you feedback. This feedback comes in the form of synchronicity. These are the meaningful coincidences that are not coincidences at all. You think of an old friend, and they call you. You need an answer, and you overhear the perfect conversation. You see repeating number sequences like 111 or 444. These are not random events. These are winks from the universe. They are the first tiny green sprouts pushing through the soil in the unseen realm, giving you confirmation that your energetic transmission was received and the process of physical manifestation has begun. When you start noticing these synchronicities, the key is to simply acknowledge them with a feeling of gratitude and knowing. See them as trail markers, confirming you are on the right path. Do not question them. Just smile and know. This leads us to a core principle of metaphysical reality. Your outer world is always, without exception, a mirror of your inner world. It is an echo in space-time of your dominant state of observation. If you observe a world of conflict, lack, and separation, it is because those frequencies exist within you. If you observe a world of beauty, connection, and abundance, it is because you have cultivated those frequencies within you. People try to change the world by fighting the reflection in the mirror. They try to change their circumstances without first changing their consciousness. This is impossible. It is a fool's errand. If you do not like the reflection you see in your life, in your finances, your health, your relationships, you must not try to manipulate the reflection. You must be brave enough to turn inward and change the self that is being reflected. As you change your inner state of being, the mirror of reality has no choice but to reflect that new image back to you. A common question then arises: if I am creating my reality, why don't my thoughts manifest instantly? The answer lies in the nature of this third-dimensional reality. There is a built-in time lag or buffer zone between your observation and its physical materialization. You should be immensely grateful for this. Imagine if every fleeting negative thought you had instantly became real. Our world would be one of pure chaos. This time lag is a divine training ground. It gives you an opportunity to stabilize your focus and be truly certain of what you want to create. It is a space for you to practice holding the frequency of your desire, even when your current physical reality does not yet reflect it. Consider it the gestation period for your manifestation. A seed does not become a tree overnight. It requires time to develop roots and gather energy. Your desires are the same. This buffer is a gift, not a curse. It teaches you energetic mastery. This time, lag creates what can be called the test of faith. This is the period between planting the seed and seeing the first sprout. It is the most critical phase. During this time, your 5 senses will be showing you evidence of your old reality. The bank account may still look the same. The diagnosis may still be there. This is when the universe watches you intently. It asks the silent question: do you truly believe in what you cannot yet see? Can you hold the vibration of your new reality, or will you falter and revert to observing the old one? To pass this test is to hold the feeling of your wish fulfilled, regardless of outer appearances. It is to trust the unseen reality more than the seen one. It is to walk by faith, not by sight. Every great master who has ever walked this planet understood this principle. They knew that their inner world was the true reality, and the outer world was just a shadow that would eventually catch up. The famous double-slit experiment in quantum physics provides the perfect parable for your life. Scientists fired particles at a screen with two slits. When they were not watching, the particles behaved like a wave, going through both slits at once and creating an interference pattern. They existed in a state of pure possibility. But the very instant they set up a detector to observe which slit the particle went through, its behavior changed. It acted like a solid particle, choosing one slit or the other. It collapsed from a wave of potential into a single experience. You must understand this. Your consciousness is the detector. Your entire life is a grand double-slit experiment. When you are not consciously observing a part of your life with clear intention, it remains a wave of messy probabilities. The moment you turn the focused, feeling-toned lens of your awareness upon it, you command it to collapse into a singular, definite experience. You are the deciding factor. Always. The most profound shift in this entire journey is one of identity. You must stop seeing yourself as a person inside a body who is trying to affect a reality out there. This is an illusion of separation. The truth is, you are not the person. You are the field of awareness in which the person, the body, and the entire universe appear. You are the observer, not the observed. This is the great liberation. When you identify with your ego, your body, or your problems, you are limited. When you remember that you are the formless, infinite consciousness that is doing the observing, you become unlimited. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a drop. From this perspective, creating your reality is no longer a struggle. It is a natural, effortless act of play. You are simply the universe deciding what it wants to experience through the unique focal point that is you. With this understanding, you realize that all of your power exists in one place, and one place only: the present moment. The now. The past is a collection of previously collapsed wave functions. It is a harvested crop. You cannot change it by observing it. The future is the unplanted soil of infinite potential. You cannot live there. The only point of creation, the only moment you can plant a new seed, collapse a new reality, and transmit a new frequency, is right now. When you live in regret of the past or anxiety for the future, you are abdicating your creative power. You are leaking the precious energy of your observation into timelines that do not exist. To become a master creator is to become a master of the present moment. It is to bring the full force of your awareness to this sacred now and choose the observation that will seed the future you desire. Your power is not coming, it is here. Finally, we must integrate this knowledge until it is no longer a technique you practice, but a state of being you inhabit. This is not about setting aside 5 minutes a day to do your manifestations. It is about moving through your entire life with the awareness that you are the conscious observer. It is knowing that every thought you think, every word you speak, and every emotion you feel is an act of creation. It is tending to the garden of your reality with every single breath. When you look at your bank account, you are observing it into its next state. When you think about your body, you are instructing its cells. When you interact with another person, you are collapsing a version of them into your experience. You are perpetually sculpting reality with the chisel of your attention. The 5 gardens are not just a metaphor, they are the 5 choices you have in every single moment. Which one will you choose to live in? You see now, don't you? The great secret is that there is no secret. There is no separation between you and the quantum field. You are the field that has become aware of itself. You are not simply observing your reality. You are the reality that is observing itself into being. Remember the 5 gardens. Forget force, forget worry, forget wishful thinking. Embrace the power of the fifth way. Observe with clear intention, feel with profound certainty, and release with absolute trust. This is your birthright as a creator. Thank you for co-creating this experience with me. To anchor this profound shift, subscribe and press the like button to send a signal of resonance out into the field. And in the comments below, declare your power by writing, "I am the observer, and my reality is my garden." And now I ask you, what is the first seed of intention you are going to plant in the fertile soil of the quantum field after watching this? Share your manifestation below.